So, hi friends and followers. I want to apologize for not making a video yesterday, as my goal is to make a video every single day. But if any of you have kept up with some of the posts that I put on my YouTube channel, yesterday I went in the morning to an oral surgeon to get 3 extractions. And while I'm a big girl and I don't cry, a couple of my shots went in the roof of my mouth and it was intense. I made it through it, and he was actually a very good doctor and he did a really good job, but because they were here, and here, he didn't want to numb my whole face, so he explicitly numbed the teeth. And whatever he did, I didn't feel it when the teeth came out, but boy, I felt those shots go in the roof of my mouth. So I don't know if there was some kind of medication in that made me sleepy or not, but I slept all evening. I slept all night, so I was like really, really drowsy. But I got up this morning and I felt pretty good, So I haven't had a lot of energy. I've had to rest a little bit. But during that time, it got me thinking about self-care, because I have been terrible about self-care. And I got to thinking about the reasons why we should have self-care. And then I got to thinking about the reasons we might be hindered from that mentality. And then I got to thinking about what can we do. And as I went to the therapist, my therapist is always after me about self-care. It's not that I go in there dirty or anything like that. It's just I don't pay a lot of attention to me. I pay a lot of attention to others. And so, I'm taking care of my family, taking care of my house, taking care of my pets, and all that stuff. And so whenever she says, well, what have you done for you? I'm kind of like, keep my house clean. And she's like, no, you need to pamper yourself. You need to take care of yourself. And I am like so devoid of understanding that I don't even know where to start. So she's been after me about it, and I have been thinking about it. So I thought, seeing how I didn't do a video last night, that I would do a quick video about that, give you a little update. If you would, follow my community, because I do give uploads, and I haven't yet done it, but I also have a Phoenix Facebook page that maybe I'll put in the description, so that you guys can get hooked up with me, because I can use all the encouragement I can get. I can use all the advice I can get. I am open to having a community of people that will cheer me on. Another thing I plan to do is create an intro for the YouTube channel to make to give a kind of a concept, because I know I talk a lot about my past and I talk a lot about where I'm at today. But I haven't talked much about the goals for the future and what I'm doing for my goals for the future. So I'm hoping to create an intro that will help everyone realize that this is a journey, and it's a journey that we have high hopes. So anyway, let's get on with it. So self-care is really, really important, and I'm starting to realize that more and more. But in self-care, you're actually caring for everybody else, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to be loved. And through your self-care, you maintain your health, your mental state, your home, your friendships. There's just so many things that go into that, creating a healthy environment for you, your family, and anybody that's involved with you. I may come across sometimes of being super negative. I don't ever intend to be like a sad sack. I am dealing with a lot of things in my life right now. A couple of things are incredibly, they hit me in the heart a lot and hurt a lot. And I do have things I'm grieving over, but I am not giving up because I have determined that I am going to love myself. If nobody, and I am loved by people, I understand that, but if nobody loved me, I'm going to love myself. So, God loves me. He loves me very, very much. And I'm special because God loves me very, very much. You know where that came from, right? So, it is very, very important to have self-care. Some of the things that may stop you from succeeding in self-care, that would be just a disregard for yourself. Some of us carry around a lot of guilt. Some of us carry around a lot of remorse. We're sorry for things we've done in our lives and how we've failed. And you can have some self-hate. Even if you're not self-destructive, as in hurting yourself physically, you can just simply just ignore yourself. Ignore your own personal needs. And in a way, that's kind of like a form of self-punishment. You suddenly feel like you just don't matter. But you do matter. You do matter. You have to care. You may be working very hard, to put kids through college or to pay off a mortgage or whatever. You may be working a job, and sometimes just taking care of other people can keep you from taking care of yourself. So, other things that might keep you from succeeding in self-care is shame. Now, this may not make sense, but if you live in a culture that is, there's a lot of poverty, or you have a lot of hardship, you may think, why should I put so much attention on myself and be pampering myself, comforting myself, taking care of myself when other people are suffering so badly? Or you may have come from a culture where being fixie, that's a term that comes from some of my early years, being fixie, having a Jezebel spirit, pride. If you've been shamed in that way and told you don't need to put a lot of emphasis on yourself, that has probably created a certain amount of shame. And so you feel like it's wrong to try to be pretty. It's wrong to be, have a, fitness routine or whatever. But shame is another reason. Now, I had a unique situation. My mom, especially when I was really, really young, she bragged on me a lot. She wanted other people to think I was when I was really little, she'd dress me up a lot. I was like a little doll baby. And then even when I got older, and she would try out new hairstyles and different things on me when from the beauty shop. She would, when I went to modeling school, she wanted me to be all decked out and everything. That was early on, ages 12 and 13, I think. But I didn't have many friends at school. And she would always say, "Oh, they're just jealous of you." And I'm like, why are they jealous of me? It didn't make sense to me. But I started putting two together, and it was like, maybe they're jealous of me because of the way I look or the clothes I wear or something like that. Now, hard times fell on us a little bit after that, and I was reduced to wearing hand-me-downs from my sister and my mom when I got old enough to do so. But that's not really the idea. I got it in my head that if I looked good, if I was pretty, if I dressed good, that the other girls at school wouldn't like me because they'd, quote, be jealous. And then, as I've spoken before, soon after that, at age 14, I went into a situation where, you know, you weren't allowed to wear makeup or jewelry or cut your hair or wear pants or short sleeves and just all kinds of things. So I had a lot of things going on. Then later on, when I had my children, it was all about providing, you know, educational tools, books. It was a while before I got on to the whole phone thing, but I think my daughter was probably 12 or so when I got her a phone. It was more as a study tool, and I bought them laptop computers early on, but all of this required me to like put a lot of emphasis on being frugal and working and cooking from scratch and saving money here and there, to make sure that I could provide them the educational tools that they needed. I think the first time I set my son and daughter down to the computer, they were about age 3, because I wanted them to be fluid with the computers, because even back then, it was early on, but I could get little educational discs that they could put in their computer. So I was like always thinking about them. And I had gained a lot of weight in my pregnancies, and so I didn't feel pretty anyway. And, you know, there was just a lot of things that discouraged me. And so we do fail sometimes at self-care. And you pay the price later, because right now I need to have, you know, some intense work done on my eyes, maybe even surgery. I'm going through like a whole year's process to get my mouth all filled with teeth again. And you know, I've got some other things that I really need to address for my health. And it's just so easy to put those things off because it doesn't seem like it's important or whatever. But it is important, and you should take care of yourself. You need to love yourself. But the problem for this with me is I have for a very long time really haven't felt like anybody cared or loved me. Probably because I was defective, I was bad somehow, or for whatever reason I was too needy, or whatever the reasons were. Pretty much I walk alone. And so if you walk alone and you have been cast away from a lot of people for whatever reason, you start thinking that you just really don't matter. But I am learning to love myself. And this YouTube channel is part of that, because I feel like with my experiences in life, I can help other people. I am a valuable voice, an advocate for people that have suffered and done without. I have a huge amount of empathy, and I have passions to make the world a better place. So if, you know, there is a scripture, and I may not be quoting it exactly, it's probably King James Version because that's what I learned from, but it says, if father and mother forsake thee, the Lord will take you up. So it doesn't matter who forsakes you and leaves you behind. God will pick you up, and He will carry you through those dark, sad times. So I'm a valuable person in the eyes of God, and there are other people in my life that think I'm a really valuable person. I'm important to them. And I've had a lot of critics, but you know, it doesn't matter. I have to love myself so other people can love me, so that I can be kind and compassionate, so that I can do the things that make me a better person. So love yourself. The next thing is make a list of all the things you like about yourself. Yeah, you may have bad habits. You may have temperament problems. You may have issues like ADHD or neurodivergent thinking, where people think you're just silly and kind of crazy. You may have, you know, personality disorders like avoidance or anxious attachment styles that can get on people's nerves, right? But make a list of the things that you do love about yourself. Um, I love the fact that I'm very empathetic. I love the fact that I can cry easy when I see other people suffering. Um, I think that I'm quite talented, so I am somewhat of an author. I'm somewhat of an artist. I'm a very creative and critical thinker. So I work through things. Um, I think if I ever get to the point where I can, I'll have a great style in my home and my lifestyle and the way I dress and the way I carry myself. I think I'm capable, even though I haven't had a lot of practice, I think I'm capable of having friends and being very kind to, and a good friend. I'm probably way more capable of being a good friend to family now, but that may not happen. So, think about the things you're really good at and be proud of yourself and love yourself and say, I'm worth it. But self-care is it kind of activates within you the feeling that you need to love yourself. So I have started a simple beauty routine, and I have begun to really work on loving myself, self-care, and even though I'm still struggling with a lot of things, I have faith in God and I have faith in myself that I'm going to win this war. And I'm going to eventually understand why I did fail in self-care. And in the meantime, I'm going to go through a lot to get my teeth back in shape. And I'm going to be going through a lot to get myself physically pulled back together. So I know that this has probably been just a little bit of off the wall, and I know it's probably been a little bit boring, but I wanted to get back with you with a video tonight, and hopefully very soon I'll have a trailer which it's for the YouTube channel, which generally only goes to unsubscribers, but I want to share with you what our dream going forward is, because when we started on this journey, we were, and as you've learned, we were in pretty bad shape. And then we were homeless for a year, and there was so many things, heartbreaking things that we had been through and gone through, and we essentially had no support, none whatsoever. We either made it on our own or drowned. And we decided, when the going got tough, just get tough right with it. And we fought and clawed and worked and fought and clawed and worked until we finally got to the edge. And we're still fighting and climbing. But we do expect things to get easier. And there's a lot of things going on, because we have a side business called, I've got a book written called Navigating Nostalgia, and we're building a business around nostalgia as well. And so there's so many plans and so many things going forward. We do plan to move back to the east. At this point in time, we're planning to go back to essentially our home grounds. And but we're here because it's cheaper to live here and we can get a leg up a little simpler. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, And I would really, really appreciate it if you'd support me in this YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, hit the bell button, and comment. If you have things to say, comment. And I will make note of anything that you do. I'm going to try to share the Facebook Phoenix page, and go into my comments section and see the post that I've put up, because I will put up, I mean, like, I did let everyone know that I was going to have these teeth took out. So if there's updates in our lives, I will let you know. But I'm going to say bye for now. See you next time.